I think as human beings, we need to constantly have something to look forward to. Inherently, one of our greatest fears aside from the unknown is waking up without purpose or reason. We need something to look forward to. It's why you feel much better throughout your week if, let's say, you're gonna hang out with your friends on Friday or Saturday. Or maybe another episode of a show you're watching is gonna come out. Whatever it is, right? We're constantly searching for something we can look forward to in the future. And I think money is the staple example of this for everyone, just because it's natural, right? It's society we live in, it's what the world is revolved around, it's what everyone chases. And also, money is quantifiable in the most literal sense. I mean, it's basically just the number in your bank account or paper in your hands, but seeing that number constantly go up is an everyday purpose for 99% of people. There's this threshold where on one end, people are living, let's say, day to day, and a point where on the other end, people are making enough to a point where they can't figure out what to spend their money on. All that space in between is where most people find their day-to-day purpose. And I actually think that those in the middle of this threshold are actually happier than those who passed it in the most general sense. When you look at artists, rappers, musicians, athletes, basically people in the 1% in terms of wealth, right? I mean, I would generalize to people in the entertainment industry, but there's also a lot of sleazy politicians and businessmen and things like that, so I'll just say the 1%. There's a point they reach where, again, they cross that threshold, right? And you can start to see them actively look for things to spend money on. That's why you see all this tacky jewelry and designer brands, mansions, etc. It's not even what they really want, but they want the perception of those things, right? You're buying perception and attention. If there was no one around, not one person would give two shits about a designer brand or wearing jewelry. But the thing is, you need that money to have a purpose, otherwise you don't have a purpose, and that's a scary feeling. But again, once you pass that threshold, which is essentially your basic needs, which is food and having a roof over your head, you start to need to find things to put value on to give that money a purpose, otherwise it's just a number on your screen. And what happens then is that you start labeling things that hold no value and giving it value. Again, there's only one reason why people buy jewelry, right? And this goes for everyone. It's to show off, it's for attention, it's to be validated, plain and simple. That's the only reason. You're buying perception to be validated. And I'm not gonna go into attention and validation, but that's what it is. Because you need to feel like that money still has a purpose. In other words, it's a constant search for purpose, creating imaginary values to make yourself feel whole. And some would argue that we need that illusion. Even if it's just a distraction or far from the truth, it's more necessary to feel that constant search, be it genuine or not. But at the same time, it's a dangerous way to obscure yourself from reality because at the end of the day, the truth always comes out. Listen, you can run from your true feelings, you can delude yourself from it, and even convince yourself otherwise, but you can't hide from them. You actually hear about it a lot, and it's called this what now moment, or is this it? When you had everything you thought you wanted, right? Especially when it pertains to monetary gain. This constant searching for more becomes dangerous after reaching that point when it comes to money. And I think the natural progression is drugs, alcoholism, and addictions. It's because you just start doing shit just to do shit, for that next thing, whatever it is, it'll bring you some sort of feeling. It's why most of your favorite celebrities you worship all go hard on alcohol, drugs, and sex. Because once you had everything you wanted when you were in that period of constant search, you need that next thing. And plus, money enables all of that, so again, it's another thing to put value on. Whatever your circumstances are, whatever you wish they could be, no matter what, everything goes back to normal to you after a while. That thing you want, those circumstances you want, the feeling will always fade and become normalized. And it's such a scary place to be, the idea of making it. I thought about this a lot, and I don't think I ever want to get to that point. I kinda just want to constantly get better and be better in whatever avenue of life and enjoy the process. Forget about money for a second. I only use money because it's the most general prime example. Having everything you thought you wanted, that's why I think people in the middle of that threshold are the happiest. Because the chase is still there and you can see and feel the small milestones and tangible results that actually matter. Things like paying the next 3 to 4 months of your electric bills, grocery for the next 6 months, savings for kids. You know, basically tangible results that have real value and implications. Because again, once you pass that certain point, you start forcing yourself to put value on things that deep down you know hold no value. But you have to do this, right, in order to feel like that money still means something. In order to feel deep down that what you're doing still has a reason and purpose. If you don't, watching that number go up in your bank account reaches a point where it no longer means anything. It literally becomes just what it is, and that's an imaginary number. I think society and honestly a majority of the world is sick, no pun intended. Specifically when it comes to money and purpose and values. And no, I'm not the guy that'll say money doesn't matter because it does. I've said it before, right? Money matters to the extent where it covers your basic needs. After that, it's whatever. I think there's a real simple way to look at it, and that's to ask yourself 2 questions. And it's that, what do you buy that isn't essential to your survival? And then afterwards, is that genuinely contributing to your happiness? And then spending that money on experiences rather than materialism. I mean, you could do whatever you want, that's just my perspective on it. Because most people, right, they either want more money to gain more social status, a better lifestyle, validation, etc. And this is why your perspective matters so much, because even if you elevate your quote-unquote social status, you're just gonna end up comparing yourself to a different group of people and feel the same way you did before. Even if you got a better lifestyle, right, after a while that lifestyle just becomes the norm and you feel the same as you did before. It's like that iPhone you wanted so bad, after a month or two, it feels exactly the same as the one before. Because it is. But I like what Apple got going on right now. They're smart. And even if you get the validation you want, that validation is empty because people who validate you based on monetary value or status don't matter anyways. Things like character or who you are as a person, actually maybe that stuff doesn't matter in today's society. Anyways, there was this quote I read and it was that there are two tragedies in life, not getting what you want and getting everything that you wanted, the latter being much worse. I think the people who found a key, so to speak, or who've cracked the code in a general sense, because no matter where you are, you're always gonna have problems, right? Getting everything you wanted, whether it be material or circumstantial, problems don't go away, your set of problems only change. And there's always gonna be this struggle every day, right? But those that quote unquote cracked the code realized that even if they had everything they wanted, they would still be doing the same thing they're doing every day before they got everything. And I think that's when you ultimately win, right? I think that's what it means to make it. Because all of your life consists only of the present moment. And this is more than me just saying the chase is necessary because I try to go more in depth in my videos, but not only is the chase necessary, but the value in your chase can't be misplaced, otherwise it will always end badly. Normally I kind of have something to wrap up the video and tie up everything that's been said, but I don't really have anything for this one. It was mainly to get whoever's watching this right now to think about what happens when you get everything that you thought you wanted. Not to get all existential or esoteric, but I think it's an important question to ask. Brings you a lot of clarity and direction. Or it did for me anyways. Anyways, if you guys liked the video, leave a like, comment, or sub. And with that said, make sure you guys stay true. Talk to you guys real soon. Peace.